Paano pa mag-depict ng space kundi sa malaking canvas? Mas may feel ng viewers. Lahat naman tayo ngayon nag-cellphone, nag-social media, part na talaga ng everyday life. Nilito kung saan tayo nag-stand doon. Nasa physical ba tayo or nasa virtual world? So dito sa works ko, ang physical is yung mga images na tinransfer ko, like yung mountains. Basta yung mga places, yung mga bagay, yung bato. Tapos yung virtual is yung mga images na nilalagay ko na using acrylic, yung mga lines. Tapos feeling ko doon tayo nag-exist ngayon sa in-between ng virtual and physical. Kumbaga kung anong gawin mo sa virtual, it will affect yung physical world and vice versa.
The objects were recontextualized and designed to fail in performing their practical and their original function in order to create new objects. Relocating them in new environments made meaning malleable, so they became dependent on whether or not they were seen, how they were encountered, and how they transformed the spaces around them. It could be seen as ordinary or as not extraordinary, which was important to me because I wanted to emphasize how art objects can be not separate or not removed from the everyday. Each work is an exploration of the relationship between sight, as in seeing, and sight, as in space or place, and how we think of the two as mutually dependent on one another.
This is my first interactive video game series using our own app, Omniscope. For the last 3 years, I have been experimenting with AR technology. I've been doing video art, animation, mixing with the traditional painting. Super Nardo is a classic platformer, very heavily inspired with Super Mario. It came to me that virtual gold, what Mario collects, we connect the gold material, this metal, for winning. It's so appealing to every culture. Even the Aztecs considered gold as excrements of the gods. It's very valuable. The players, viewers, take the role of Super Nardo as a miner. And the enemies here are the stock traders.
This is a bit of a story of the house of my grandmother. After her death, I realized that it is where the primal visual experiences that I should lead my aesthetics, the visual elements. After her death, I have the freedom of using the whole spaces, and then I realized that in portraying the house or her, it means that I'm also illustrating the similarities of the whole region or the whole neighborhood, because they would agree that her experiences were the same with the other people living in the community.
Isla Inip kasi ginambol ko yung word na Pilipinas. Resort pero hindi ka pwedeng mag-relax. So imbis na maliligo ka sa dagat, maliligo ka sa dugo at saka sa pawis. Tungkol dun sa kung anong meron sa obserbasyon ko ng sarcasticong pagtingin sa paligid. Tayo as namumuhay sa katlong mundo, sa sobrang daming problema na yung traits natin na lagi tayong masayahin, parang sarcastic na lang din yung pagtingin natin sa lahat. Tungkol siya sa kung ano yung nangyayari sa sistema. So ano ba tayo? Tayo ba yung nagdudulot ng sakit sa katawan niya? O tayo ba yung gumagawa ba tayo ng improvement para dun sa kalusugan niya?
The whole show for me is like an optimistic appeal for connection between man and nature. By trying to draw attention to the complex lives in nature, things that we rarely see or simply the things that we simply ignore. I'm at least trying to provide an access point or a gap where we can begin to recognize nature more or to look at them more and to develop this habit of seeing more. In a simplistic sense, I see the whole thing as like a museum of taxidermied extinct animals. I'm aware that I am copying it, so during the process of copying it, I lose some things in the process as well.
And the philosophy behind my work, I usually want to highlight craft. I usually tell a story through my work, whether it's from experience or something that I've read or listened to in music. A background on my series called Frame, it shows that there is origin and meaning and purpose behind everyone's lives. That there really is a really great craftsman who is God behind people's lives, and I wanted to share that as well with people through my work. Each of these sculptures represent different milestones and memories that I've had that I feel have really made a great impact in my life and have brought me to where I am now.
I wanted to explore the other side of the coin, wherein there's a situation na mahaharap ka sa fears, sa anxiety, sa phobias mo, but this time, you have the chance to logically think through it and actually have the chance to control paano ka magre-react differently. And so, doon nakafocus yung idea ko with the lake predicament, which is driven siya by managing the psychological theme of managing anxiety. I wanted to examine human responses through the cycle of desensitization and resensitization.
My works, the main title is Lupang Hinirang, our national anthem. So I play around that idea. I came about the idea when I was walking in the CCP and I saw a Philippine flag. As I am looking to a Philippine flag, I'm recalling all the national issues we are facing right now. How could I connect all those issues into a simple work? So I focus on the idea of home and about family. Since I came from a family of farmers, I decided to use, for the material, is the sack of rice. It's like connecting the different issues that affects the lives within a family. So this piece is entitled, Ang Mamatay ng Dahil Sa'yo. Each lines corresponds to the number of victims in this war on drugs. Dito sa lupang hinirang, walang pagpapahalaga sa bawat buhay. May halaga lang tayo tuwing eleksyon. Ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
What fascinates me most about printmaking is that a single image can go a long way. I can make multiple variations in the mood using color, thickness of the ink. I thought to maximize this potential in printmaking, I think it would best suit the view of the Manila Bay, which has been captured and reproduced over and over again, so much so that it has become part of our collective memory. Because the view changes so quickly, I wanted to try and capture the fleeting moments using prints.
There's a certain pull of formations that coming from the rocks that I used for this show. And I believe that rocks were formed by the forces of the earth for millions of years. I feel like the stones are actual living remnants of the past. That's why also that you can see in my collages, I feel like they're shaped like rocks. I believe that every piece is history itself. This thing that I do as a way to keep the narratives of the past alive. And I use collage as a tool to sort of excavate and abstract the materials. And I consider them as like artifacts waiting to be excavated.
Without realizing it, I've been doing what I've been doing for many years now, so that the experimentation behind years of dust will build a mountain is a long time coming. I was attracted to the idea of people digging a hole, especially the energy that they give, channeled from the hands and into the earth, creating nothing where there used to be something. I made 2 large-scale drawings of this scene, and somehow this wasn't enough to understand why the idea struck me. So I thought of replicating a similar energy through the act of painting. Inevitably, all these pursuits point back to the idea of home.